What's
Zach,
going on, brother? How you
how you
doing?
doing? Oh, Jinx, bro.
Yo, let me turn
Hey,
this off.
di-
What's up?
what are you watching? Replays
Yeah,
of March Madness?
no, man, just some Brady Bunch. Having getting some memories, going back to the old days.
Oh, so you get invited on 20-year timeout podcast and you're like gonna go watch the Brady Bunch.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm trying to vibe proper. I
So
mean, till you
like
tell
cl-
me, tell me more.
like clockwork, dude. You said, "Oh, I hope that your daughter goes down." And you know what? She's like clockwork. I put her down. She was quiet, didn't make a peep. And at 7:37, every night she just wants. It's like she wants us to know that she's in bed, but she wants us to come give her her binky or give her her little back rub before she goes into her deep sleep.
Every time. Yeah.
And she's
And
spoiled, dude. She's the third one. She like gets the cuddles and like, oh, she wants this, just give it to her. Like the other kids were like, we were tougher. We were like, no, let her cry it, let him cry it out for a little. This baby, oh, you want to come into bed with us? Just come into bed with us.
how many
Slacking,
you
but
got?
now,
You got 3, right?
yeah,
It's awesome. I got 2.
F-
Oh,
two boys or girls?
yeah, little boy and a little girl. Little
Perfect,
6-year-old little boy and 11-year-old little girl.
nice.
It's wild
Yeah,
run, man. Wild run.
mine are 5, 3, and 8 months, I think.
Ooh, you are in it with the 8 month. Okay. I didn't know that it was that young.
Yeah,
Okay. How old are you?
40.
Okay. Boom. That's a grand slam, brother. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Or almost.
get it done. We were
Yeah.
firing off on all cylinders for a while.
Yeah, you were. So you ripped off, you've been in digital media for most of your career, and now you're reaching back 20 years and you're going, golly, I need some warm and fuzzies right now. I'm kind of like midlife in it.
Yeah, it's like a midlife crisis nostalgia. It started with refurbishing my classic Nintendo.
Cool.
That thing was sitting in my basement for 30 years, and I was like,
Yeah.
I want to play that thing. The games were like, I had to blow in them a bunch of times, so I ordered a new 88-pin connector from eBay and took it apart, threw that in there, cleaned all
Yep.
the games, and then started playing the games. Yeah, I'm like a fiend for nostalgia.
Oh man, I mean, I'm sitting over here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mini arcade games for my son. I think I probably mess around with them more than he does because it reminds me of being, just reminds
Were we
me of back in
talking
the
Street
day.
Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Turtles in Time?
I got like Pac-Man, boring shit, boring stuff, like
Nope.
Pac-Man,
I'm a
Tetris,
Pac-Man Tetris fiend, dude. I still got the Game Boy with just Tetris loaded up into it.
Man, it's like when you see those pixels, it's like hearing the Sports Center song and it just brings you back to that time. Like, boom, you're in it.
Have you seen these new Tetris players who hold the controller sideways and like tap it?
No, but I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised they're not hanging from the chandelier yet.
These are young kids crushing
Yeah.
Tetris till the break screen, like breaking the game because they can play that intensely till the end. Where our generation couldn't figure that out. They tilt the controller on its side and they do this 4 tapping method where they can tap like right 4 times in a row. So
Yeah.
if you get a piece dropping, you can go right to the side, and they're fast.
I remember bragging about how I don't remember what it was, but when you were playing Mario Brothers, if you could jump up the steps real fast or you could get the beetle to hit 100 times, you could get infinite life. Used to be real proud of those, being able to go through those games real fast. But you're talking about people holding the controller sideways now and hanging upside down. And
My brother claims he could do that 100 free life trick. I could never figure it out, dude. Still, I see
I was
people
a king
do it
of
on
it.
Reels.
Yeah, that's funny.
It's
And
a certain
Contra,
level
don't
you
mess
have
with
to
me
do
on
it
that.
on.
Yeah, that's so funny, man. Oh man.
What other? So Pac-Man, Tetris. Is it like an all-in-one console?
Shit. No, it's those little mini arcades. The
Oh,
little.
a mini one. Got you.
It's just the little small ones. I just littered the room with them so that we Could walk in and be like, "Hey, Benny, check it out, man. You got a whole arcade right there in the corner. You got 7, 5, 6, 7 games you can go play." He's like, "Dad, I like Roblox."
Yeah.
He just wants to jump on the computer, Makes me feel good about myself, though. So,
I've
just to see him.
noticed if I let my son play, he's only 5, but he can get to the castle in Mario from level 1, so he can beat 3 levels. He can't beat the castle yet.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. They're far more advanced than we would ever dream of being. There's just no doubt about it in all regards, not just the video games.
I feel like he's calmer in that struggle than if I throw on like
Situational
Xbox.
awareness.
Yeah, like if I put Xbox on and he's like walking around, probably shouldn't let him play Red Dead Redemption, but he likes to ride the horse.
Yeah.
He's like, he like figured out how to shoot the gun. I was like, all right, I need to shut the game off. I can't let him play anymore because he's over here trying to find stuff to shoot. And then, he runs into townspeople and they're like swearing at him. And he's like, oh, bad words. I was like, all right, we need to stick to Mario. That's daddy's bad.
Yeah, I stick to those games too, man. If it's got a basic concept or I can remember it from back in the day, I'll jump on and play the new version of it. I'm cool with that. But I never really did get into the RPGs and stuff past Tomb Raider. Those kind of like right around that era.
I mean, the old games are hard too. I can't,
they're hard.
Like Contra, Super Contra. These are like super hard games where you get hit 3 times, you're done, game over, start over.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and now I think I kind of got to the point where my daughter, she's into the video games. She likes all the new stuff. The kids like the 11-year-olds, all their little fashion games and little niche games that get them all interested, super, super deep and interested in the storyline. They love it. But I just can't keep up with all of the thought that you have to put into being proficient at one of these things now. It's almost like, I think we should start making a decision. Should we just start administering school and education to children completely online like this and just adopt it? Because they really do learn a lot on these things, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
they have
and
to
you
think
hear
through a
most
lot of this
people say
stuff.
the
Critical
opposite,
thinking.
Yeah, they want to go the opposite, and then, you can't really turn back time. You're not going to go back to VHSs and writing cursive.
It's never going to happen.
Yep.
Never going to happen. I know that nobody wants to hear that, but there's got to be a way to embrace what's going on with like technology and we hear all these buzzwords now, but we're really having to lean into it. AI and all this stuff, even in business, from video games to business, but it's got to be embraced. I didn't mean to get us off track there, but
no, I talk about it all the time.
We don't go backwards. There's no going back. We're just not a society that goes backwards.
I think about it all the time. I want to create a guide for my kids to use social media for good, and I think it happens with like, what is your hobby? What is your passion? What are you going to create and put out in the world and then talk to people about what you're doing versus doom scrolling or not having a purpose? Like, yeah, you want Facebook? Awesome. What's your purpose for this platform? Because it's got to relate to your life and it has to have a positive impact in your life. If it's having a negative impact, man, we're going to move away from it. We'll get rid of the internet because we want positive actions and like instill confidence.
I think, have you ever heard of, I'm sure the answer is yes. I'm not asking what your opinion is. I'm just curious if you've heard of him, but Dave Ramsey.
Never read one of his books or listened to a podcast. I really don't know much about him.
All right. There's financial there's financial analysts out there, advisors and talk show hosts that are syndicated. They get their message out to the masses about how to save your money, how not to spend your money frivolously, how to be frugal, and how to survive in tough economic times, how to build wealth. All those professionals out there. Well, I think that professionals like that who have a system for finance and a system for organization, financial organization, should, I think that we should adopt that in digital media, social media, and learn, just like what you said, teach our children to almost budget themselves like they budget their finances when they get older, so that there's a use and a purpose for every minute spent. Now, I know that might seem a little extreme, to say it that way, make sure there's a purpose for every minute you spend on social media or the internet. But that's kind of a really great concept and baseline for financial management when you're figuring it out when you're young and, throughout your entire life. So maybe those principles can help us square away on some of that fat, trim some of that fat off
When
of the
I
social media
realized,
beast.
oh, I need to have financial literacy, I was like, why couldn't I have learned this in third grade? I was like mad at the world. Like, what
Yeah,
was I doing? What were they teaching me? But then,
100%.
I
Well, you
didn't
find
figure
out
it
when
out
you
for a
get
long
older, I
time.
think you don't figure it out. But I think we're influenced in school by, really whatever messaging is out there that comes from a lot of other places, especially the public school system. But
Yeah, and who knows if it
I
truly was made to teach us the way or to control us so that we could make the big Rockefellers of the world money and control us.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
getting
there's
off on a
probably.
tangent, dude.
Well, I mean, there's conspiracy theory in it, and I didn't mean to say it as if that's what you were saying, but I meant, and there's good people out there, great teachers and educators and people that care about what they're doing, that see all that stuff. But the truth of the matter is that, you know, we still were exposed to all the messages and all of the cultural sort of norms and the legislation that was infused into the curriculum that that was administered to us, and we're a product of that in some way, shape, or form, at
I
least
don't know if you feel the
to a certain
same,
extent, you know?
but I feel blessed to have had the teachers I had growing up, whether they were stern and always on my case or whether they were influencing and having me like really embrace my creativity. Dude, it was just, I'm so blessed to have all the teachers I had. I hope that teachers, hang in there and try to get back to that way. I know it's
I
tough
do
for them.
too. I do too. I feel for teachers. I feel, for even for kids coming up right now. I say that only because I only have myself and my experiences to base my opinion on and how I feel about it. But I think there's a hill to climb with you know the transitioning into sort of just a new way of doing things and reestablishing the morals and the ethics and the values that got us where we are. Um, at the same time. Woo! Big mission, you know.
I forget, are you a religious person?
I'm a Christian. I wouldn't say I'm over religious. My mom is a religious person. I would say my brother is too, and we talk together pretty regularly about spiritual things
Nice.
and our faith. Yeah. But I'm not in church every Sunday like I probably could be, I guess,
Me
if I were
too.
gonna
My
say it.
wife
I'm
has
not like,
started going and taking the kids, and I've only gone twice since she started. She loves it, and the kids love going to their group and the friends they have.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it as much. I when I'm there, I like it, but I'm just driven in my busy week that morning is like my time to gather my thoughts and either have a workout or clean up something in the house I haven't gotten to all week, or even do a bit of side work, and that maybe that's selfish, but that's just honestly how I feel about it.
Think as men, that's the choice we have to make as we get older and ultimately come to that final time, and women and people. I feel the same way though. It's hard for me to get away from that because if you can't find if you find me on a Sunday morning, I'm not in church on a Sunday morning. I'm doing something. I'm building
Yeah, same
something.
here.
I'm planning something, um, working on something, breaking something on accident. That happens every now
Oh,
and
I can
then.
fix that. It'll be done in an hour, 3 hours later
Yeah,
on YouTube. What the fuck?
absolutely. 100%, man. Yeah. Damn YouTube. It's, it's a blessing and a curse to have. It really is.
I started doing my own oil changes. The first couple times was cluster and like I was getting oil everywhere, but now that I have it down pat, it's literally like a 10-minute process and I enjoy it. But
Yeah.
I tried to do my mom's oil and she had a different type of like thing because she had a Toyota. I ended up
Yeah.
cracking her plastic um oil filter pan. I had to go buy a new one.
Yep.
1 hour job, half hour, 20-minute job turned into like 4 hours. I was like, all right, I need to stop trying to be Mr. Handy.
Yeah, my story, I guess if we were going to go comparison is about a month and a half, 2 months ago, right before I traded my truck in. Old Ford F-150. It was like a 2013 Ford F-150. Door handle stopped working. So I go, oh, yeah, it seems complicated, but I'm sure I can figure out the fix on YouTube. So I go look it up, check it out. Oh, man, that guy just popped that rod right off there with that little hook, right? I'll just go buy that from Lowe's, that little tool. And I watched the video. It really looks simple, but sure enough, you got to apply the right pressure to that rod in a certain kind of a way in order to not snap it. And so I broke it, and the door ended up working after I was done, but just didn't lock because I broke that mechanism. So damn you, YouTube, for making me think that I can do something I'm not qualified to do.
I took my BMW door off because the windows weren't rolling down.
Yeah.
I couldn't even get the door back on, dude. That thing was just hanging on like for the rest of the time I had the car. I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, whatever. I just like duct taped it up. I was like, all right, let's keep it moving here. You can't.
Word.
At drive-thrus, I used to have to open the door and grab the coffee like this because
Yeah.
the window didn't roll down.
Yeah.
I only had the car for 6 more years after that. It was fine.
I
appreciate it.
You driving a sweet whip now? You driving like a brand new Escalade or what, Bugatti? No, let me step it up for you.
No, my
What are you
wife
driving
gets the
now?
new car. Are you kidding me?
Oh, truth.
I'm
Yeah. You can't have
like,
shit.
I guess I'm a frugal person too. Like the idea of having 2 car payments infuriates me. So yeah, I've just kind of drove cheap used like $4,000 cars. I did have a 2007 Audi, but I bought it for $4K cash and I had it for like 8 years. I just got rid of it recently, and now we got the Toyota Highlander because of the
Stayed smart with it.
3 rows. Yeah, and I have our old Nissan Rogue, which was a cheap vehicle, and we're pushing 180K on that thing. Let's keep it rolling.
I don't 180,000 miles. Bang.
On the Rogue. I mean, those
Catch your money
transmissions
out.
are great.
Money out.
Dude, my
Yeah.
BMW had
Yeah.
240.
Yeah, my Ford had 228. But your BMW, when you traded in, was still going, you said?
No, my mom locked the keys in it, and it had electronic key. When we finally got the door open, the whole electronics were fried. They couldn't figure it out at BMW. So they're like, dude, we
That
can keep
sucks.
digging into this, but your car's worth like $2,000. I was like, yeah, all right. So I brought it to the scrapyard, and that's when I got the Audi.
Yeah, I'd say a car is probably the worst investment we'll ever make in our lifetimes. Didn't take me 20 years to figure that one out, but I think I traded my truck in for $900.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
bought it for
bought a used
26,000.
Toyota. I couldn't, when
Yeah.
I looked at new prices, I was like, let's just buy used.
Oh man, I think buying a brand new car. I've never bought a brand new car. Maybe one time I think I bought a brand new truck about 15, 16 years ago. That got traded in quick. But that's probably the worst possible decision, I'd say, to make from an investment money
Don't tell that to a
standpoint.
20-year-old in a
I know.
brand new $120,000
Yeah.
truck.
Yeah. Especially when they just got out of boot camp in the military, locked,
Oh,
caught,
you
and
have
ready
to
to
have
rock.
the fully loaded Ram.
Yeah, you better, better be decked out with tweets and a subwoofer and have, even today, they still roll around with it. Remember the old bump? Did you guys ever do the old bump? Have your cars all tricked out with audio, with bass and
Just audio, dude. I had 2 cars that I had, and I installed the stereos. I had a 1986 Volvo 740 intercool with a crank sunroof.
yeah.
I had 2 subs in that. I had 2 6x9s, and then I had like 7-inch speakers in each door, and just Alpine deck. Thing just sounded mint. And then when that car broke, I took all that gear and put it into my 93 Ford Escort GT 5-speed manual. Teal. That thing was cool.
So you are a big time car guy. You probably have you talk about how you don't
Hoopties.
want to dump into hoopties. You say hoopties with what with a whole bunch in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me,
Hell yeah.
the reason I bought the Audi was it had a mint stereo. Like, it was so enjoyable to just put a CD in or connect like a podcast. Just the audio clarity was beautiful in that vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the best times to listen to music is just cruising down the road anyway.
For sure. And like if you can have if you love like sound, having a nice stereo in there just makes the ride better.
No better place to get those acoustics. I agree. So what are you doing now,
What
man? You're living, where'd you say you're living up up
Western
north,
Massachusetts.
up
Yeah, a
north. Yeah.
place called Warren, Mass, outside of
Warren, Mass.
Worcester, an hour and a half outside of Boston.
Yeah. So I remember when you were down this way, down my way, that was a short period of time, right? Just what, a couple
Yeah,
of years or something? What?
just 1
So
year, dude.
1 year of your life. Wow. So you just came and ran the Savannah 5, or the Southeast 500, and said, "All right, I'm out. I'm getting back to the crib, to the homestead."
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't know what to do with my life, so I was like,
Yeah.
all right, if I'm not going to go to school, the point was to go to school down there, and that never happened.
Okay. I was okay. So you were thinking,
And then I was
uh,
like, I had like a little dough in my pocket, so I was like, maybe I should just move home and try to figure it out. Although you
cool.
folks were real fun and real nice to me, so it was kind of hard to leave, but
Yeah, man, you were awesome. I remember I enjoyed working with you.
appreciate it.
Enjoyed the hell out of it. Yeah. That was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, me and Jason Restivo did this 2 weeks ago.
Really? Hey, he's crushing it. His new restaurant's doing really, really well.
He was going to be successful in restaurants. There was no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, working with him and learning from him about wine was a great experience. I think it was probably once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah,
Even,
it
I
was
mean,
like
for
college.
everyone. Yeah, it was like college, wasn't it?
Yep. I
Yeah,
mean, I
speaking of,
remember
yeah. It's funny. Go
I
ahead.
kept notebooks of all the shit we were doing and learning, and
Yeah,
like I would go home and think about it, you know?
absolutely. So you got your experience in the food industry and you went back up to Mass, and you always been am I right about that? You've always sort of been a digital media guy. Help companies grow and brand themselves and
Yeah, well, when I came back up,
create clear
I
messaging.
started going to school
Yeah.
because I knew I needed to get a college degree, and I went and got my master's degree, but I was still waiting tables. When I got my master's degree, I was so depressed. I was like, "What the hell was all this for?" It's
Yeah,
like
man.
I thought I would get a nice job and like I would just be set up after that, but the realities is no. So I was waiting tables, and I met a owner of a digital agency, and we
Yeah.
just kind of linked up and started doing freelance work and kind of just learning
Okay.
from him. Oh, this is what customers buy. And man, I was not that good at some of the stuff he was asking me to do. It was like learning too, like how to,
Opportunity, right?
yeah, and how to like do graphic design and how to learn how to do websites and what is marketing and how to do sales and learn video, email, how do you get leads? How do you build a lead gen system? It was just problem solving after problem solving. Yeah. So now I work in manufacturing and yeah, still doing marketing and just love solving that problem for people.
Cool. And so you said you're in manufacturing now. So
Yeah.
you can kind of float two industries, can't you? I guess once you get to know one industry, the core messaging in one industry, you float to another, you capture that, and then you put your spin on it, right? For that company,
Yeah.
right?
And manufacturing, there was
Not
just
that it's
such a
that
need
simple.
for marketing.
Yeah.
A lot of engineers and everything's so digital now. There's a lot of problems to solve in that space, and companies are really starting to invest in AI systems and marketing and lead gen and just like how do we okay, we've been referral based for 40, 50 years. How do we branch out and start to do cold outreach and find people or have people find us?
Yeah. I think that industry in particular has been notoriously bad at the whole marketing advertising piece of the business puzzle. Would you agree with that? Those
That
the engineers,
Oh, the manufacturing
the
side?
manufacturing side, maybe those type.
Yeah, because they don't need it.
Yeah. Well,
Well, th- I think they want it now.
they want it.
I've only been in the industry in manufacturing for 4 years or 5 years. So
Okay. I'm really
Yeah, I think
interested. It
there's a
really,
there's a
just coming
buy-in.
from a place of curiosity more than anything else. That's what I was.
Yeah, it's a great conversation to have, you know. Especially,
um,
yeah, the old timers who a lot of them are multi-generational companies too. Their dad started it or their dad purchased it and ran it for 30 years, 40 years, and now their sons or daughters are coming to take over, and there's uh, an issue with culture, and there's transition on how work is done, even with remote and, you know, using Teams or Slack,
yep. So you're like this.
CMMC, there's security things, you know.
So if you were, if the company were an engine and uh, that engine were being put for the first time and running a brand new car, you're like coming in with all the oil and grease and serum that lets all the gears kind of move and run in this new business environment, this AI sort of digital leaning centric business environment that
I
we're,
always have a
we're
funny
looking at.
metaphor. I always
I'm,
describe it like
I'm working on it, man.
I'd always describe it as like I'm the Broadway choreographer here. You know, we need to
Yeah.
put on a performance, and we're not
Right.
just performing for the people in the front row. We need to reach
Right.
the people in the back row, and we can't be boring, and we have to stand out, and we have to um you know, we can't be afraid to go out and perform
No.
to everybody.
And, and
You can't be stage shy or
you
what's
can't.
the word?
Yeah. Stage
Stage
fright.
shy?
Stage
Stage
fright.
fright. You can't have stage
Stage
fright,
fright. Stage shy. Shy. Yeah. I mean,
even though I do, but
I mean, it's true though. You
I
can't
hide
have
it.
stage fright. And I think even further is it's like if you don't have if you have stage fright, and let's say, I mean, if you're an entrepreneur and you have stage fright, I feel like there's so much encouragement to get involved and try to get yourself seen and known that you miss. And I'll make my point here, but I think a lot of young business owners and entrepreneurs miss the point of what you just said, and that's that people buy an experience. They don't just buy a product or even a person. But if you can be noticeable and let somebody have an experience when they engage with you and your product and your company and your service and your process, then they'll move into a buying decision more often than not. But I think that gets lost when people are first getting into marketing, branding, advertising, figuring out the difference between all three of those and where maybe the overlaps are and how to get their message out about what it is that they're doing to help other people get their message out about their company and what it does. I think that gets missed just because they're trying to market, they're trying to put out volume and trying to put out information, but forget about that point you just made, which is the experience. You're putting on a show. Putting on a
Yeah,
show.
so
Yeah, I didn't mean to ramble, man. I just kind of was trying to
no,
think
you
that
could
out.
literally we could talk here for 5 hours. This is like Joe Rogan, and you could
Yeah,
crack a
man.
six pack. Well, I
I
shouldn't say
did.
that. I got a 10 o'clock bedtime. You know, I got to get
Yeah,
up
yeah. You
early
got to get your
tomorrow.
Z's. Yeah, got to get your Z's. That's right.
At least 11 o'clock. Like I'll be good if I'm in bed by 11.
Well, I mean, like I'm a bachelor, so yeah, I was married for 15 years, and now I'm all of a sudden, you know, 50-50 custody, love my kids, but I have this time. So staying on that routine like I was on before, getting to the gym, working out, doing stuff like that. A lot of people think that would be an easy thing, but staying focused when you have, that much stuff going on, um, and getting to bed and getting your sleep so you can feel good for the next day. Heck, man, that can be tough sometimes. So, having that discipline too, that's been something, trying to tie it back to 20 years, getting back into
Well,
that routine that 20 years had me in for a while. It's been fun.
so take me through. You're still living in Savannah or
Yep.
Rheingold? What's it called?
Yeah. There's a little city outside of Savannah called Rincon.
Oh,
Yep. And, it's probably like 15 minutes west of Savannah. I live out there, and right now I am doing two primary things. I'm selling windows, doors, and sunrooms for a large home remodeling company, and I started a construction network where I help contractors find skilled workers and business professionals. So I'm spending some time at job fairs, having fun doing something I actually enjoy. I like working with young people. Back in the day, did a lot of stuff at schools in martial arts. So I liked teaching. I like that whole environment of teaching and advising and helping. So Construction Networks kind of helped breathe some life back into, every day having that great purpose. And, being with that remodeling company kind of ties in really nicely too. So that's what I ended up moving into after my 15 years in commercial insurance and marriage, to kind of bring that home.
Was there like you left insurance because you were more passionate about working with the contracting network and did
I left insurance, man, because the money was good. I did well with it for most of the time I was in it. This is just the truth. And then when I got, really, I think when I look back on it, I attest it to, probably some bad, um, probably not looking at my situation, personal problems, marital stuff, along with just kind of going in and out of bad habits. You know, not working out, having too many beers after work, not having too many beers after work, getting into those habits that we all tend to get into. When you get comfortable, maybe got a little bit lazy. Um, so heck, I forgot the question you just asked me.
it's
I
not
started
these aren't
rambling.
easy questions and I'm just throwing them out there.
Yeah.
But what I was curious about is like how does insurance work? Like obviously people become a rep first and then
Oh
like can
yeah.
you
Okay.
franchise out and own your own insurance business and is it, how does
Yeah.
that work?
Yeah, man. Insurance is multi-tiered business. Like, in my opinion, I remember you asked me why I got out of insurance, I think.
Yeah,
But yeah,
which is a
yeah,
hard question. I
it
mean,
is a
don't have
hard
to answer it
question.
if you don't want to I'm just
Yeah,
curious about insurance in
it's hard. It's
general.
hard to be passionate about it, man. It's hard to be passionate about insurance. I mean, for me, it is. Some people, it's in them. It was in me. The money, when the money was good, and it felt like there was a fair trade off for my time that I was spending on it. I think there's also, uh, you know, certain industries, and depending on where you come from in your life and what you believe in within yourself, certain industries can be more challenging to some people than to others. Especially if you have, um, different things like that you deal with, like limiting beliefs and that sort of thing. So, as you grow through an industry, you grow into really loving it, or sometimes you just grow into really not being your cup of tea. And I think it was a combination of, when you asked me earlier why I got it, was a combination of a little bit of both. The money was great, but it was just like kind of ended my time just ended with the insurance. I was kind of over it by that time. The way that it works, the industry, you could be an agent directly for an insurance company and work as a W-2 employee, which is what I did to start. That's a captive insurance agent. Or you could be an insurance agent and work for an insurance agency. Sometimes that's confused for an insurance brokerage. That company's the one that has the license, that has the agreements and the contracts with all the insurance companies. And that way you, as the agent, have access to all those products that agency has access to through their agreements. Most of it's all based on volume and sales. So that's why it's so hard for one independent agent to go and get access to different insurance carriers, because there are rules that they have in this industry for you to be able to take your license and sell the product that you're licensed to sell. So you can go work directly for an insurance company as a W-2 employee and just sell their one insurance product. You could go work for an agency or a brokerage and sell multiple insurance products. Those are the two main ways to do it. Or you can be an independent agent and contract yourself with what's called an aggregator, which is an organization that contracts with other insurance agents and pools together all of their revenue so that they can qualify to have the contracts with the insurance carriers and provide the product to us, the consumer. So there's a couple different ways you can be an insurance agent.
what insurances do you think people should carry? Like, what are a couple important ones? Life
Uh,
insurance, whole
Important
life,
insurance. Yeah. I think that having some kind of
identity
life
fraud.
insurance in place is crucial. I don't think having cash value life insurance is the smartest move for young people. That's just my opinion. I think young people would do better taking their money and investing it in some kind of, whether it's the stock market, and if you don't believe in the stock market, invest it in some kind of a business concept that you have skin in the game on so that you have interest in what happens to your money, or invested in. I think real estate is fantastic. It's the most favorable tax. I would say it's probably got the most favorable tax treatment from an income tax standpoint of any type of
So
investment out
like
there.
multifamilies or commercial,
I
or are you
think
saying single
so.
family?
I
Yeah,
think that
but you
the
got to
more
generate revenue, right, from it.
you got to generate revenue from it. My rule of thumb was always, I would always go into a project, and this was just me because I was kind of a smaller time remodeling landlord type company business. I would buy smaller properties, condos, townhomes. I was always looking for 2% a month. So if I was buying a house for $50,000, I wanted to know that I could get at least $1,000 a month in rent for it. And that was hard to do, especially um, in the market that I was in, but I would usually land somewhere in the like 1.6 range, 1.75 range. Because I'd have enough money down to put on the project, and the cash on cash return would look good enough for me to do, and I'd do it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
My friends up here will agree with you. Like, I have a similar philosophy about marketing. Like, one day I'm all gung ho about it, and the next day I'm like confused about it because it's just so flooded with gurus and like snake oil salespeople about like what SEO is and how to generate your client, 10x. And some days I'm like, well, truly we're just trying to get authority for the brand, with SEO. It really doesn't have nothing to do with what people are saying about content writing and optimizing. Really, it comes down to like getting quality backlinks, unless there's different approaches like local versus national SEO. So I'm always like, customers ask me for this all the time, and I'm reluctant to get into it because there's so many gurus, and like, you don't need to have a certification. You could literally go build out a website and you're an agency all of a sudden. You could offer all these products,
Yeah.
and some of them could be just trash
It's a
unless
low
you're like,
barrier to entry.
and I don't want people to look at me as someone who's doing that. And sometimes, as a self-taught marketer, you do sometimes wonder, like, am I are other people bringing way better returns for their customers for the same costs? And that's just my personal like education on like growth hacking, if you want to call it that. I'm always searching for, and that's a new philosophy that I've kind of made myself do, is like trying to network. Part of this podcast is like getting better at networking, getting out there. But
Absolutely.
talking with other people in marketing who do what I do, and what are the results they are getting? Can they totally trash an process or system I have built out so that I can build it the right way? Um, so yeah, I'm always back and forth too. It's like, I pursued video for a while. I pursued creative writing. I pursued some like one-on-one work, nonprofits. I'm still trying to search for, how I would, and that's part of the fun too, is like being an entrepreneur like yourself. Ooh, what could I scale up tomorrow? Is there something better I could be working on?
Yeah. So your bread and
Should
butter,
I?
you'd say, is that SEO lane, or that directional, that the yeah.
It's so scattered. I mean, I was doing a lot of dance recitals, doing videography,
Yeah.
for a while, and I was doing like corporate videos, and people were asking me for those. And then I'm looking at the timeline, and I'm like, man, I need to be charging a whole lot more
Oh
for the
yeah.
amount of time that goes into
Oh yeah.
pre-production, production, edits back and forth. And then I was like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe I should just do like quicker one-off projects, like a handyman versus like a full contractor. A handyman goes in and hangs 3 TVs and he's out and he gets paid. So I was starting to look at
Yeah.
marketing like that. What can I do in one day and be in and out and keep doing that and bringing value? But marketing is long term. Usually you go to a client who wants, let's say they just want a website refresh, or just they don't have a website and they want one. You're going to run into 20 different problems like, oh, your Google My Business isn't optimized. Oh, you have no photos. You don't even have a brand guide. What's your mission for your company? Who is your target audience? Like, you just, not saying I have all the answers, but you start to see the gaps, and you you want to fill them in as someone in marketing, because you want to bring the most value you can, and you kind of need, you need these 25 assets that work in tandem for a business to be successful. Because I think of it as, all right, if we're gonna build something up, I want people to start like approaching to buy it. Like, oh, I want to buy it because, one, you have this beautiful website, you have all these digital assets, you have a great social media presence, your video is so on point. That's part of your, and then, oh, all your business side stuff is great. You've got P&L and all that other stuff, and you got a great customer base, 10 years of growth.
Yeah.
I will just keep rambling on, dude.
Well, no, man, I'm listening to every word you're saying. I mean, because all of that's important. And I think you're just pointing out, it sounds to me like you're just pointing out something that is very common across the board with business owners that you can help. And that's so a recurring theme. I wonder if there's that recurring thing. You have systems and you have processes. Every situation is different though, right? Every case is different. I was just talking to a guy who I work closely with. His name is Mark Wynn. He's the owner of Alien Creative. He helps me out with a lot of the digital media production and the things that I'm doing with Contractor Guy Network to kind of stand out to the students and skilled workers and tax professionals and attorneys that we're connecting with the construction companies on our network. And he is, Mark's an interesting guy. He does all of the digital media work and works with companies. Dang it, I was just trying to make another point. It's the second time I lost my track. You better edit that out.
I don't got time for editing, bro.
Cut that out. Where was I going with that? Don't tell anybody.
Contractor Network, Alien Creative.
Yeah.
He's in the digital space. He's helping facilitate you helping people in that industry.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of that stuff. And you were just talking about digital media, and we were talking about goodness gracious, why did I bring him up? I'm sorry. You'll have to come back to me, Richard.
Yeah,
Alex
it'll
Trebek.
pop up.
I can't remember the point I was trying to make just then.
It's too late. We got to do this in the morning.
Dude. Yeah, my caffeine's run through my whole body already. Anyway, brilliant guy, does a ton of social media work, SEO, does some SEO work. We were talking about SEO, right? And how you're able to help, what you're doing to help your clients.
Maybe he's multifaceted. He can help where the problems are, or what's annoying to some people is pointing out the problems and they don't want to hear it. Ego sometimes is in there. And I like to try to always say, like, I have no ego in this. Please rip me down. I'm just gonna pick my beat ass up off the floor and try to get tougher and stronger and move forward from it.
That's all you can do, man. That's all you can do. I don't think any one idea, especially in the creative world, is going to fit any one company or business owner. Sometimes it's throw it up against a wall and see what sticks, because it's not about what you want, even though you know what's best for them. We think we do.
Contractor Network is like a staffing agency, or?
Well, I'd say it's a new concept. It's Contractor Guy Network. I appreciate you asking that. It's a construction network that I started to build when I was just ending my insurance career, and I was thinking, man, I really need to differentiate myself from the competition. So I'm going to provide a resource to my clients that gets them access to the information they need to stay compliant, follow regulation, make sure they're not getting fined, So I started building this network and connecting with schools, tech schools, to supply or to get access to skilled workers. Seemed like skilled workers were such a big deal, um, to all of the clients that I had as I was helping them with risk management and insurance. So over time, yeah, it grew into that, um, sort of this skilled worker agency, recruiting agency, I guess, maybe on the front end, but also added a few things, added business services to it. So tax professionals and insurance agents and digital media specialists like you and like Mark, and some of the stuff I'm dabbling in, SEO and websites. So it's become a vehicle for not just people looking for work in skilled trades in construction, project managers, and even machinists and engineers and welders and framers and electricians and plumbers, but it's become a place for business professionals to showcase their skills and help those construction professionals advise them around those employee and hiring issues that they face when they
Dude,
when they
we've
try
got
to
a
grow their
lot in
companies.
common. You
So
were asking about Home Masters mentoring.
yeah, I
It,
was, man.
it's not as like at a high level where you're at. We just saw a need in like first time business owners where there might just be one or two employees, they're not scaled to $1 million or even 500,000,
Yeah.
and they're thinking of taking on employees, or they're having a tough time managing their employees and they're used to being in the field and now they want to get in the office.
Yep.
So we started Home Masters Mentoring as just a business group where we met once a month. We had a Slack channel and we had some, like every month we would put together, oh, let's together as a group build a marketing plan, build a
Yeah.
business plan. Maybe they had them, maybe they didn't. How can we automate some things? How do we do our bookkeeping? Are we doing our own bookkeeping? Why aren't we outsourcing it? Just common problems that and the guy I ran it with, Best Handyman Boston, Ryan Tuttle. He's like a master of
Yeah.
automation
Yeah.
and running he had a tile and carpentry company that he ran for 20 years, had his blood, sweat, and tears into it. One day he met with a leadership mentor, and the mentor looked at his books and said, "Hey bud, you got to close this company." And he was heartbroken because he's like, "What do you mean? I've been built, this company's worth millions of dollars." And he's like, "This company isn't worth anything. I think you need to close it and start over." So he did. He put his ego to the side, and that's where he came up with Best Handyman Boston. He's like, "All right, this model makes more sense for me. We're gonna be the best handyman service in Boston. We're gonna go do 1-2 day jobs. We're still gonna do our kitchens. We're still gonna do our remodels. We're still gonna do tile, but we're gonna offer all these other services that all these homeowners are asking me all the time if we can do. Uh, monthly maintenance plans, reoccurring revenue. And he's been super successful. And it's defunct now, but it was super fun doing that business group, and we learned a lot. And the guys and girls that were in the group were actually, it was guys and girls, and then we switched it to guys only because
Yep.
that was just the vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, when you got when you find that circle or that community that vibes like that, you got to go with it. Right. That's cool.
Yeah, because these are tough, like, guys in the industry. A lot of them were working for a company and were like so fed up with how it was run that they just started their own.
That's
It
what it
seems like
was.
a
I was
common
going to
problem.
ask you that, who exactly or where the source of the interest was coming from. And it sounds like
It was
people like what you
mostly that,
said.
and
Yeah.
there was also a couple multi-generational, like dad ran the company for 40 years, didn't have books, didn't use technology, smoked butts in the van,
For
white
sure.
van with no lettering, would
Oh
go
yeah.
in, just bang jobs out,
Yeah.
didn't put tarps down, didn't have customer service.
Yep.
You do the job and then you disappear. Well, and
Yeah.
some of them were really nice. Some of them were really organized, but they just didn't have the digital. They were still using invoices from Staples and a folder.
Yeah,
And then
but the difference was that they could actually go out and build that batch plant for those ready mix trucks to drive under and go take their loads to the job sites. They knew how to put every bolt and every screw into that thing. And now their their smoky white van retiring selves are letting their next generation kids take over, and they've been playing some video games for a while. So we got to figure out how to bridge that gap for them.
And also, a lot of them thought they had a business they could sell, and that was going to be their retirement. And when they put the business up for sale,
It
no
didn't
go.
sell. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. And they
So
found
that's
out that a
crushing.
business broker was going to hit them at 20%. And they were thinking, oh, nobody told me about that. And what's a required minimum distribution? Oh, there's a lot of that
Or
stuff
that if they had built up a website for the last 20 years, that at
it
least
could
they
just
could
keep going.
list that as an asset, and people
Have
pay a
something.
premium for a domain that has authority. If you don't have it,
I think that's the devastating part about contractors too, in particular. I don't know if you were talking about that industry, but that is almost textbook. What you see in the construction industry is it's so hard to find loyal and trustworthy, hardworking, dedicated and committed, disciplined employees, team members, people that can buy into a culture. And it all starts with leadership, but that company comes in, contractors will come in and in 5 years, they're shut down, they're closed out because there's no assets to sell. It's a cash machine. The money comes in, the money goes out. There's nothing left over but some tools and a couple pieces of used equipment. But if there were some kind of a process in place, maybe to take advantage of the demand for whatever it is that company is doing while they were really striping it, then hell, they could be bringing in leads and figuring out another way to keep the revenue generated. Well, maybe it's, working with other partners to do the jobs that are coming in the door, but not taking advantage of that the internet and technology. I hate those words now because they're cliche, I guess, right? At this point, kind of beaten into the ground, but yeah, they die out completely.
and that I'm not in that industry, so in the comments, beat me down if you need to. I don't know what I'm talking about, please let us know if you're in that industry and tell us the things we got right and the things we got wrong.
Absolutely. Yeah, because that's what at least I'm here to do, and I know Richard, you're here to do is to help, and that's definitely something that I've noticed a trend in, and I've heard stories about in a lot of association meetings is trying to solve that epidemic and bring quality into the construction industry so that business owners can feel confident that they're coming in, starting off small, and have access to the resources they need to grow. At the
And these
pace of
kids are
what business is
crushing
today.
it, man. These trade school kids, I see some of
They
them
are.
they're driven, they're talented, they know how to talk to customers. They might need a mentor. Everyone needs a mentor,
Everyone needs a
especially when you're that
mentor.
young.
Everyone needs a
But
mentor.
they can be, they're going to crush business if they keep on the path they're going.
Yep. I don't know, Richard, what do you think? Like we've got, this more capable group of young people. What generation is that? I'm so bad at that. Is it X, Y, Z, T? I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
beta,
really
I don't
matter.
know.
But we got
X,
these
maybe X?
X,
Uber?
Uber
6, 7, bro.
That was 2025. Can't do that, man.
So old. I did a LinkedIn post today and I
That kid
made that
busted
joke.
my ass.
And I even put a thing like, how old is this joke? Can I even say this? That's why I got no likes.
Well, that's what's most important is that you get. Actually, it is now. See, I don't want to be a hypocrite, right? You want to get as many likes as you can, get as much attention as you can.
I
Oh
mean,
man,
who cares though? It's more about putting what you think out into the world, and if it pays off in 20 years, sometimes you got to put out the stuff that no one likes, so that in 10 or 20 years, it's like, oh, that guy was kind of ahead of the curve there.
man, as someone who understands the principles behind instant gratification, I begrudgingly have to agree with you on that. In some,
You can't fear the judgment. So
no,
if
you
you
really
got an
can't.
idea,
You got to do it.
it's not going to hit. You don't know. It could hit down the road,
You
or it
got to
could be
do
a
it.
part of your story.
You got to do it. I was standing you know what? I wanted to bring home that point earlier that we were just talking about. And that was, we got this group of kids before I go on to this next thing. We got this group of, I say kids and get that out of here, 'cause it's not true. Younger people than my old ass that are way more capable and adept in all these different areas because they've been exposed and really been taught and brought up through the school system to have proficiency in these tech with technology. And we've got this aging group over here that's aging out of the trades and construction and the industries that you serve, a lot of different industries. There's a language in between though. Have you ever heard the Jerry Seinfeld skit about the person walking through the park, through Central Park, but licking an ice cream cone?
I love Seinfeld. I'm surprised they
Seinfeld's
haven't.
great. And so walking through Central Park, someone's walking through Central Park and they're just enjoying their wonderful ice cream cone. And they haven't had one in a long time, and it's a warm summer day, and they lick it and they lick it again. And they lick it one more time, and they're having the greatest, most amazing experience that they've had in months since last time they had an ice cream cone in Central Park. And they go to take the last lick, and plop, it goes right down on the ground. And they stop for a second, and they went from having such a fantastic experience and such a great moment with that ice cream cone to looking straight down on the ground and thinking to themselves, man, that really what? Sucks.
Sucked.
There's a really fine line between great and sucks is what I'm trying to say. And I think that there's something in between the generation that's old and aging out and the generation that's younger and really proficient with a lot of these new systems that we have access to. And all we have to do is figure out the language in between, that gray area, that fine line. Because if they don't talk to each other and, make that move forward together and merge all this sooner than later, then, things are going to suck, and we want to make sure that the in-between, that language, they can speak that language and communicate with each other so that the next generation can take on these businesses and operate them and grow them instead of letting them shut down and fall out, and dissolve.
Because they're going to need to call those guys for the next 20 years.
Going to have to talk
to each other. They're going to go into some building and be looking around and be like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And they're going to have to call OG and be like,
they got to do it.
Be like, oh, you're a fucking idiot, bro.
Yeah.
This is what you got to do. Find the circuit that's labeled. You know what I mean?
We got to be in that fine line. I know I didn't bring that point home, but we got to be that. I do feel a tremendous responsibility now that I've sort of come to I'm not at the end of my career or anything, but I definitely have had a career
just
or two.
Starting.
You know what I'm saying? I've had a career or two in my time, and I feel like, probably a lot like you, like, man, wow, now I'm kind of can see outside the bubble. I can see some things, I can see what's going on in front of me a little bit better. I've been here for a few years. So I see that.
Reminder. Cat food and water, bird food and water.
Alexa just reminded me to get some bird food and water. I don't even have a bird.
Cat food?
Yeah, I got a cat.
You're feeding the cat bird food?
No, I had a bird for a little while. It's a long story. They're really hard to keep up with. Seeds everywhere, even with the little thing.
I grew up with parakeets, dude. We had one that just wouldn't die.
Yeah.
It was like 17 years old and had no feathers. It was just like hopping around.
Oh, poor buddy. What was his name?
I mean, he outlived like 3 other. We kept buying a new parakeet because we thought he would be lonely.
I have a parakeet story.
Seeds everywhere. I get you.
I had to replace a parakeet so my daughter wouldn't find out about the first one. I felt bad.
The old switcheroo.
Had to do it.
Did she know?
No, God, no.
Now she does.
Oh, man. Throwing me under the bus. She'll probably see this one day. Yeah. She's going to disown me.
No, she'll be like, Dad, that was sweet.
That was the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me. Hopefully she'll find out young enough to actually say something like that before she comes jaded to the world,
King of Queens reference. I don't know if you watch that show. Doug's dog was Carrie's looking at the dog and he's hugging the dog at his parents' house down in Florida. And she's doing the math and she's like, this dog is 36 years old. And they were like, no, we just keep getting a different dog and keep naming him the same thing. And he's like a grown man. And he finally figured it out.
I wish I was
not Rocky.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how you get to a certain point, everything is a replay of what everything's a replay almost.
I know.
I
And
mean, even when you
that's not Jerry Seinfeld. That was Socrates that
what
said that about the
what
ice cream.
oh, it was Socrates. Well, Jerry Seinfeld stole it because I just saw it in his last episode.
No,
That was-
I don't think I just made that up.
you asshole. I was believing every word of it. You did.
No,
You
it was
could have.
convincing.
Yeah, you
I
could have said anything
it's
right
been
there.
too
I'd have
long
been
you
like,
forgot
"Damn,
my
I messed
dry
that one
humor.
up." Yeah, it has been a minute. Maybe we'll do this more often, and I'll catch back up to it.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, man.
Dude, I've been keeping in touch with everyone I do a episode with. It's been crazy, actually.
Yeah,
It's been
man.
super cool. I went
Yeah, I
from
think
having
it.
no friends to now I have like 10 friends.
Well, dude. All right, so check this. So one of the things, and I'm not trying to over plug or anything like that, but I feel like there's a lot of
Plug away,
parallel.
bro.
Hey,
I don't plug away, dude.
hey, man. I mean, I got jokes, but I'll leave that alone. I think there's a lot of parallels between, kind of what you're doing and what I'm doing with Contractor Guy Network as well. I mean, what our whole brand and what you're doing for companies and kind of what I'm looking to do and am doing for construction industry professionals, but in just packaged in a different way with a different wrapper around it, I suppose. Definitely digital media leaning forward in everything we do. I noticed. So Riverside, I mean, even this platform that you're using to do this podcast, man, super cool. Just being, you connecting with me on LinkedIn, and this goes for anybody, I think, that is doing what you're doing right now, which is networking, reconnecting with people you've met in your time, not being afraid to put yourself out there. Those are all things that that's all important for anyone that's trying to get involved to do, and that's what we're doing with the network by doing these kind of interviews with the pro services that are in the network. So I'm learning a lot right now just by sitting here talking to you and rambling about
So like
something we can add to our business model.
yeah, like so a business owner who wants to work with you could be like, we're really struggling with finding someone to do payroll. And you would go out and try to find someone who fits within that. They probably need a specific person, so you're going to
Yeah,
help facilitate that. Maybe they don't have the time. They're in the field, or maybe they just are sick of hiring and firing all the time.
man, you're hitting the nail on the head. I think that that's a massive pain for not just construction professionals, but everybody that is in that's in the business field or owns a company. Contractors deal with it at a really high level because they're dealing with a lot of 1099 situations. And then they've usually got just a couple of W-2 employees that they have different set of rules for. So, I think that having access to business services like bookkeepers, which you were saying, and being able to reach out and get some answers on questions like monthly reporting or production per employee production before you hire your next employee, or figuring out what metric you're trying to analyze so that you can make good business decisions. Getting access to the professionals like the bookkeepers, the tax professionals, there's a new thing, not new, but it's been around for probably about, I don't know, 15, 20 years. They're calling them fractional CFOs. That's become a real big thing. There's a lot of off-site financial management services available. So yeah, to what you were saying, it should be nice. It'd be nice to be able to go to one place to access that kind of a resource or that kind of a professional, set an appointment and get what you need so you can move on and run your company.
Or even like to suggest something. Let's say they got a couple W-2 employees and they got a bunch of apprentices running around. Do those
Yeah.
W-2 employees even know how to train those apprentices? Even just like a simple, what are they called? Not workbook. Set of
It's
rules.
employee handbook. Employee handbook.
That's the
Yeah.
word.
Yeah. And that's different
Sometimes
a lot. They don't know it's
no
different
one
than a
thinks to
training
do that.
manual. Right. Or do they know, or do your employees understand and know how to implement the, light duty return to work program so that you're not paying, workers' compensation premium on an employee that's sitting at the house eating Doritos on the couch? Or, how can you mitigate that cost in your company? Well, there are professionals out there that can handle that and can take care of that for you. Or maybe you're a business owner and notorious for being really challenged, I would say, in the marketing and advertising department in general is the construction industry. Some of the big players are really good at it. They put out information about what projects they're doing, which gets them impressions. But there aren't a lot of construction firms that are really proficient with client acquisition, especially in the digital landscape.
Yeah, they have like a old school
It's a lot of
RFQ
handshake.
guy
Yeah, man.
who can
And
just
that's
go
fine.
fill out those. Yeah,
That
yeah, it works.
that's fine. And I think we'd all be missing the boat if we weren't, on board with the Richards of the world, and the folks that are dedicated to helping other people do business today, like it's going to be done tomorrow, so that you're not left behind.
I'm just stroking my
Just
ego. I want to be on TikTok. I want to be
well,
on YouTube. I'm trying to blow up and go viral. I want to be
dude.
on Road the what's the new show that everyone likes? The Mormons in Utah. Those girls drinking
Yeah.
drinking those stupid drinks, sodies with milk or
Yeah.
something.
Oh man, your wife would love that. Yeah, it'd be a lot of fun.
She does.
I think that there's opportunity to do that kind of stuff, to get yourself, to elevate yourself to that level. It's just a matter of authenticity and getting the reps in. So let's just do 100 more of these together. I'm the only guy you need, and we'll just blow
This
up
has
together.
been I've loved talking to you, dude. This was wicked fun.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's
How
good.
come we didn't stutter or we didn't have any like lag time? We were just firing off the whole time from
No, bro, it's cool. I mean, it's
I
fun to
like
be able to
catching
bullshit
I only
and
reach out
catch
to
up.
the people who like I know I'm like actually curious about like cool individuals
Yeah. Well, I
who kind of
appreciate
like
that.
because I remember just looking at you going into like really the private functions and just like crushing it so hard that I'm like, damn, like he just can talk to people and
Yeah.
like charismatic to the room, respectful to the ladies, like respectful to the gentlemen, and just like everyone loves you.
Man, it was fun. I had a blast. I wish you could make, enough money and be home with your family during holidays in the restaurant business, to not have to leave it. So it's just fun. You said early in this talk, you'd mentioned something about putting on that show, and that you help companies kind of help them do that, because that's what it is. It's really a big game that we all play here. It's who plays it the best. But you get to do that in the restaurant business. If you don't hate your life and you don't have a bunch of internal stuff preventing and blocking you from
I
putting out
knew
good
you had
vibes.
other stuff going on because I would see you come in at like 5 or 5:30, go
Yeah.
in, make more money than everybody, and then I'd be like, "Oh, where's Zach?" And they're like, "Oh, he left." I'm
Yeah.
like, that mother,
Yeah.
he left. I'm looking at your sales, and I'm like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah. We used to rake it up, man. We used to rake it up. I still talk to Frank. You remember Frank? Chance?
Yeah, big tall guy.
Oh yeah, I guess shouldn't be dropping all those last names. But yeah, tall guy. I still talk to him.
I picture him having no social media.
Dude, Frank's Frank's a cool cat though. He doesn't get on and blow it up on social media or anything like that. But anyway, I still talk to him. He's just a super smart guy. I think he's got some cool stuff going on. He got into industrial sales, equipment sales after the Pink House.
I could
So
just do a whole podcast on Pink House employees.
you really could, man. You really could.
So, a lot of those great kitchen guys, there's a lot of people still there. I mean,
Yeah.
they worked their way up. Now I see them bartending, managing.
Yeah.
doing all different kinds of stuff, all promoted from within. Good stuff.
Yeah. Well, they treat them right, I think, when they get up there. I think, yeah, Autumn's still there, I believe. I think it's good. I still go back there. I still go back there and sit at the bar probably once a month, or just sit at a table and have a little lunch, take people up there.
That's
I love it.
awesome.
Yeah.
I got to swing through there when I was driving my sister to Tampa, and yeah, we stopped in and had a great time.
Man, bro, hit me up next time you go to Tampa. That's where I'm from originally.
Oh, cool.
I love it down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good
Yeah,
times.
we love Clearwater.
That's it. I was born in Clearwater. I mean, Clearwater's where I grew up. That's cool. That's cool.
I mean, we've only been a couple times. We like stay up north a lot because the little kids. We go to Maine. We've got a camp right on the border of Canada, East Grand Lake, and we love going to Connecticut to this why can't I think of it? Place in Connecticut, little town. Anyways, my last question was, what do we got going on for hobbies nowadays? Are you doing some disc golf? Are you back at the gym? You know, obviously your hobby is entrepreneurship because you're just always building things. And anything interesting like painting, darts?
Man, I gotta say,
I don't know about you.
I gotta say, I'd stay as involved in that. What kind of sports are they? Okay, I love golf. I started a little golf group. Got about 12 guys in there. Did that a couple months ago. Played a ton of golf. Love to throw darts. Love to play pool. Don't get to do those as much. Those are typically, you know, I try to stay out of bars a little bit more these days. So those are typically where you find those fun games. Man, I'll play any sport, you know, so I go to the gym probably 3-4 times a week. Try to stay as active as I can. If it's outdoors, I'm down. As far as anything interesting goes, what would be interesting? I think the only thing interesting to me in my life right now is this. Unfortunately, I have to say this network kind of caught me off guard with that one. I like to do competitive shooting too. I go to Palm Coast. Probably hasn't been as frequent lately, but usually about once a month as well. And I'll go down and shoot steel challenge with their little 22 basically handguns that are built out with a rifle stock. So there's no kick, and you just acquire the target as fast as you can. It's kind of like, you know, playing a big darts game.
Are they like skeeting pucks? Oh, I lost you. You still there? But I wasn't. So I lost the full podcast. But it was my fault.
I actually saw that on one of your on one of your podcasts. You're like, we got most of it in the description. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, we got the last 16 minutes, but
yeah,
it's lost forever. They couldn't recover it. Whatever. I moved on.
Lame.
But this is why I love it. At first, I was trying to do in-person only, and there was a lot of setup involved. I would go meet someone, set up all the camera gear, all the lights, film, and then have to edit. With Riverside, we just remote in, both members, and then at the end, you leave your phone open for a little, and it imports all the footage right into Riverside, and you can edit the whole podcast there. You can do AI to clean up the audio. You can do auto cutting from camera A to camera B when whoever's talking is full screen, whoever's not, you know, and then you can export out the audio and export out the video.
Cool.
Then I use Buzzsprout, which is just like a distribution platform that sends the podcast out to all the platforms, Spotify, Apple, etc. And to create all the reels, I use a software called Opus Clip, and I just upload that full video, and it cuts the footage into like 30 reels, and you can even auto schedule them to all the platforms, YouTube, TikTok. So I'm really hands off. Like what I do after a podcast, and I schedule one to go out every Monday, is I do those 3 things, and then I use a little bit of AI to create a description based off of the transcript, which Riverside gives you the transcript and the chapters. So I just copy and paste those right into Claude, and it gives me, you know, some title ideas and then a nice description. And I just copy and paste, or I create my own title and I put that into the Buzzsprout. It sends it out. And then an Opus Clip, it kind of auto generates. Sometimes it's not the best, but I don't care. My goal is like if I keep doing this and I build up a following, I'll hire someone to go in and really optimize each individual post. But for me, it's fun. I just throw what's, if it's goofy, I don't care.
Yeah. You just want to get it out, get the content out there and get it going. Plus, I mean, if you really wanted to laser it in, you could just take whatever it spits out and spend a couple extra minutes, I guess, like, yeah. That's cool. Very cool. Is it a pretty big lift as far as what the commitment is financially from a monthly or yearly standpoint to be part of the Riverside?
I think
For you
it's
to-
30 a month. I
Oh, wow.
think it's under $30 a month.
Seems really reasonable for something so powerful.
Yes.
I mean, yeah,
I'm sure Zoom is similar, but I know Zoom can get pretty pricey.
Zoom can get pretty pricey. Yeah. I mean, it seems like this comes with some, couple extra bells and whistles too, gives you a little more capability, on the editing side, it sounds like.
Oh,
AI.
dude, it's so sweet to click 3 buttons and then be done.
Yeah. 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 I think that's what triggered me earlier to start talking about Mark. You started talking about editing film, and all the work that goes into pre and post production and the setup. And that's that guy, right? That's a lot of what I get to experience when I'm working around him, like on this film project we're doing for the port. We're telling the story of the port of Savannah for a client. And, just listening to you talk about some of the headaches and some of the pains that you deal with, on that side. I was bringing back some conversations and memories from
Us-
talking to Mark. I mean, it's just a lot. You deal with a lot.
Yeah, it's a labor of love, and a story like
Yeah,
that
man.
is you're going to go 100% because that could live on for a long time. People, I want to see that.
Yeah,
That's like a big deal to do a project like that.
yeah. Well, I appreciate this. I'm totally gonna take, um, look more into Riverside too. I know that wasn't your intent of us talking, man. It was a great conversation, but I'm going to use, and implement some of this stuff, and it's going to help a lot with, some of the pro services help. It's going to help me showcase some of those business services, on our network, so that the contractors and the members that are participating, uh, know exactly what they're going to get from it. So that's awesome. It's great.
Yeah, hit me up
Cool.
if you run into any snags. I've run into snags, but I'm working through them, and I pretty much have the system down.
Yeah.
Pat, I actually want to do a full YouTube video of the whole process to show people.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I'm doing you. I think YouTube Shorts. What do you think? I know you're probably ready to kind of end this thing up, but YouTube Shorts is where it's at, is what I keep hearing. I mean, you hear Vanderchuck talk about it all the time and how that's what's going to get, how you're going to index with AI and a lot of the new platforms that are out there that are being used primarily, by people who were using Google before or
Yeah,
doing
there's some
internet searches.
young creators who are just crushing it.
Yeah, just put out a massive.
They
amount of
got it
content.
figured out.
Um,
Or just one video and it just goes crazy.
that too.
Like putting out one video and being monetized the next day type of things, where people like me and you have been trying. I'm not trying to get monetized, but like if I was, it'd be a struggle for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think I guess when you start doing this, if you either have to have a massive budget so you can just like blast high quality content out all the time, or you have to do it for all the right reasons so that people don't see through your money grubbing ass when you're on trying to provide information,
YouTube's good about sending a newsletter too. Like they always highlight trends. Like the new trend is like long format videos of people just like talking for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
No fancy cameras, just on their cell phone talking about something they love or something they're super knowledgeable about that people could just like sit on the couch and listen to.
I got approached. It was 2 days ago by a business owner who wants me to help him set up a subscription channel and a looping video that just plays, uh, like a buoy in Key West, so people can just go stare at it.
Love that.
There's just so many different things out there, ways out there to pipe into where the consumer wants to spend their time. online.
I did that for a vintage clothing company called Allergic to Cubicles.
Okay. What did you?
We made a 10-minute short film that just played on loop on VHS, like on an old TV
Yeah,
with no sound.
that's great.
And the owner was the main character.
That's great.
And he was sick. He was allergic to cubicles.
That's so funny. Oh, cool, man.
Super fun. Thank you, Zach.
Oh, Richard, yeah, I appreciate you having me on. And anytime you want to catch up, do it again, just let me know. And
Same here.
hey, I'd love to have you on. When I get this patched in on my end, I'd love to have you on one for the network as well, just to talk a little bit about what you can, you do and what you see out there right now with
I'd love
a
to.
lot of, your clients, and the people you're
And
able
it's
to
an
help.
easy transition because I do have some experience and love the service industry. So
Yeah, perfect.
that's an easy yes.
Cool, man. Well, I guess what? You got your kids stayed asleep the whole time, huh?
They're great at sleeping.
Jeez. I don't think that every family has that same fortune. So you better watch your tongue before your luck changes on that here in a couple minutes.
I mean, it's not perfect all the time.
It worked tonight though, right? That's all that
I mean,
matters.
what if they get up and go pee? They get up and say, "Can I come in your bed?" And I let them for like 5 minutes and then carry them into their bed, But a lot of nights they're the third baby got spoiled. That's why she wasn't good sleeping. She wanted us to like cuddle her and
Oh yeah. Man, that's
but
just where
she's the last
you
one.
just get one of those doggy gates and you just let them sit there and cry at the doggy gate all night long until well, that's what some people say you're supposed to do, but I'd probably be crucified if I was in the wrong group saying that.
Oh, my wife smacked me the other night because she was, we were letting her cry it out a little bit. She was just relentless at like 3:00 in the morning. So I'm an experimenter. I said, Macy, and she whacked me. She's like, "Don't yell at the baby." And I said it was worth a try.
Yeah, I gave it a shot. Come on. Yeah.
I knew it would piss her off more than the baby. Well, it's been real. Let's keep in touch.
100%, Richard. Have a great night, man. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks, you too.
Yep.
All
Enjoyed
right,
it.
have a good rest of your week.
You as well, brother.
Peace out.
Yep. See ya.